I started Blue Fox boards during COVID actually. I kind of couldn't really get a board that I really wanted to use on the race course, and I was always quite into designing and thinking up new ideas. And so during COVID I taught myself CAD, and Blue Fox boards was designed. Actually the intention was just to build one board for myself and race on a board that I'd designed and had made, and then more and more people got interested, and kind of the local Weymouth guys and the girls kind of started ordering them, and before I knew it, there was a company. And it was never really the intention, and suddenly, yeah, 4 years on now, and we have a board building company, which is pretty awesome. I think that all the different designers have their own idea of what a board should look like, and I'm no different. I think every designer will admit that they have their own tendencies and their own styles that they're looking for, and kind of what I try to do in Blue Fox is remove that a little bit, and so I'm still getting the boards that I want and are looking like the design, but trying to take as much feedback and input as possible, which is why when you look at Blue Fox boards on the beach, no two are the same, and everyone can have that custom look, and I've kind of built it on feeding from other people's opinions and other people's kind of ideas of what they wanted boards to look like. And when I was building those boards, it kind of goes into a pool of what we've then got for this cycle. So we've always kind of run custom boards, always. And I think the problem with custom boards is that it takes a little bit longer to design. It's quite an expensive process and quite a difficult process. And so what we wanted to do is try and make that choice a little bit easier. And so for 2025, we've released basically 2 ranges, which is the male board and the female board. Which is in 2 different sizes. And from there, you can then have your normal options of having it set up for a tube hanger, setting up for a Levitas. But also in 2025, we've just released a new hybrid box, which basically allows you to have one board with multiple options. And so you can now jump between Levitas and tube hanger and other foil manufacturers and tune the angle a little bit more accurately, actually have a board which you can develop for your own riding style without having to buy another board, which I think is what the culture that we've got into the past 4 years. So the new board basically has a much longer box, which basically is based on the standard Tuttle box. And the problem with a tube hanger and a Levitas is they both run in different positions and different angles. And so the deck angle is set up so it's bang on in the middle between a tube hanger and a Levitas. And then we have these shims that fit in. And so for a tube hanger, you slip a shim in the front, screw it in from the normal way, and there you go, the board is set up for a tube hanger. And we offer this in multiple different angles. And so for girls that they're looking for different riding styles, and these are really cheap and easy to produce. And so we can be selling these, and you can have 4 or 5 for a different venue and decide. And then that simply pulls out, you slip the rear shim in, and now it's set up for Levitas. So it's really is that simple to now jump between foils, and you can now travel with one board and have multiple different foils that you're testing, which I felt was so important at this early stage of the cycle where people don't necessarily know what foil they're going to be using. And so the outset of buying several different boards and several different designs with different angles and everything else is an expensive one. And so the aim was to reduce that and actually make a board that works for both but is also customizable for both. As everyone knows, with Blue Fox we've always tried to get the shortest board, and as we were saying about design philosophy, it's always been kind of my philosophy that a shorter board, it's less surface area, it's less drag, and also it's a lot less weight in terms of that swing rate that you're getting. But one of the big problems that we did have was boards getting so short that super light winds was becoming a bit difficult and big touchdowns was difficult. So those are 2 areas that we really tried to focus on for the new generation of board. And so we've come up with this kind of bulbous nose concept, which basically creates a lot more volume up here in this front section. So 5 to 6 knots becomes a lot easier, but also those heavy touchdowns that you have become a lot easier as well. That combined with the tail cutouts that both me and Ellie were running at the Olympics, just the whole combination basically makes it a much easier board to use at lower winds, but also for those touchdowns and in the more hectic conditions, it kind of all brings it together. So these are our final boards that we've been working on for the last 4 years. So everything kind of that I've developed, and the God knows how many prototypes and test boards that we've had have kind of brought us to these 2 designs. And so we're really excited to basically release them to the market. So both gold medalists were on Blue Fox boards, and the female silver medalist was on Blue Fox boards as well. And I think we have past 3 years world champions in the female fleet and medals in most of the male events, both male and female events for the past 4 years. Blue Fox came from a random kind of a sit down, and it actually came out when I was 18. And I started selling adjustable downhaul systems, and the original company was called Blue Fox Water Sports, which was designed around ropes and splicing for windsurfing. And then it just came from then, and Blue Fox boards was a natural moving on point from that.